Good evening. This is the 5FM Radio Main News. The headlines. The Electoral Commission of Zambia has launched an online pre-registration. Copperbelt Province hands over foodstuffs to more than 800 traders rather. And Spanish Prime Minister calls for Israel to be barred from international sport. This bulletin is live on our Facebook page, 5FM Radio Zambia, and our YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. With the details, my name is Lance Sannie Banda. The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has launched an online pre-registration of voters platform aimed at enhancing inclusivity, efficiency, and service delivery through digital innovation. Speaking during the launch, ECZ chairperson Mwangala Zalomis explained that the platform is only accessible to newly registered voters. She has clarified that existing voters' cards remain valid for use in the 2026 generations, but those registering online will still be required to physically collect their voters' cards during the mass voter registration exercise, which begins on October 13, 2025. Mr. Loomis further noted that an exception has been made to allow individuals who will turn 18 by April 30th, 2026 to register in advance.
Empowers us to embrace electronic solutions that serve our people better. Today, we fulfill that mandate with pride and purpose. The Commission has set 13th of October to 11th of November 2025 for the conduct of the mass voter registration in all the 156 constituencies. To facilitate participation, the Commission has introduced an online pre-registration portal, which we are officially launching today.
Copperbelt Province Minister Elisha Matambo has handed over foodstuffs to more than 800 traders affected by the recent fire that swept through part of the old Kapalala market in Nola. Speaking during the handover, Mr. Matambo said the relief assistance was provided by Republican President Hakainde Hichilema through the Office of the Vice President and the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit, DMMU. He has emphasized that government remains sympathetic to the plight of traders who lost various commodities and property in the inferno. Mr. Matambo has said that the items distributed include mealie meal, cooking oil, rice, beans, salt, and cash to help ease the burden of the affected traders. The minister has further revealed that traders impacted by the fire should also be considered for empowerment under the Constituency Development Fund (CDF) to help them recover and sustain their livelihoods.
People were assisted as well. So we want to thank you to the President. Whenever we have a problem on the Copperbelt, through the Office of Vice President, and they are always with us. The Vice President came. We also want to say thank you for fulfilling what was promised to the people. And I think this has been done literally in about 48 hours, because she was here just the other day. So to our people who were affected, we want to say the government will never leave you alone.
Out of the 130,615 candidates that sat the examination 2025 Junior Secondary External Examination, 102,271, representing 78.29%, passed in at least one subject, while 28,344, representing 21.70%, did not pass any subject they had entered for and therefore failed the examination. This is taken into consideration that candidates for this examination can sit for a minimum of one subject. Education Minister Douglas Yagalima reviewed this during the announcement of the 2025 Junior Secondary External, Grade 9 External and General Certificate of Education GCE examination results today. The minister added that out of the 36,049 candidates that sat for six or more subjects, 8,552, representing 23.72%, obtained certificates, 19,718, representing 54.70%, obtained statements after passing in at least one, but fewer than six subjects required to make a certificate, while 7,779, representing 21.58%, failed the examination.
I'm glad to report that both the Junior Secondary External and the General Certificate of Examination were conducted without any leakage of question papers. I extend my sincere gratitude to all stakeholders who played a vital role in ensuring the security of the question papers. However, other forms of examination malpractice involving collusion, assistance, and smuggling of unauthorized materials into the examination rooms were reported.
In the meantime, Mr. Siagalima stated that out of the 136,455 candidates that sat the 2025 General Certificates of Education GCE examination, 117,301, representing 85.96%, passed in at least one subject, while 19,154, representing 14.4%, failed the examination after not passing all the subjects they sat for. Compared to 2024, the pass rate decreased by 1.42 percentage points. The Ministry of Agriculture's Director, Dr. Kenneth Msiska, has applauded partners, the European Union (EU), the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations (FAO), and the SADC Secretariat for their continued support to the government of Zambia and the wider agricultural sector in the Southern African region. Dr. Msiska stated that support towards the operationalization of the SADC Regional Agricultural Policy Phase I is a 10.8 million United States dollars project that will be implemented across all 15 SADC member states over a 4-year period. He noted that the period from 2013 to 2024 has significantly contributed to laying the foundation for Zambia's agricultural transformation. Through this project, the government of Zambia has received support in capacity building in various areas. And in other news trending this evening, Subsidies recently took it to the streets for the first ever march past in solidarity for the boys and young men whose plight has been neglected for far too long. The Zambia Civil Liberties Union has applauded Chief Mpamba of Lundazi District for issuing 259 customary land certificates to women, a move aimed at promoting economic empowerment. Up next, the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
The Zambia Revenue Authority ZRA, through its investigation department, has successfully conducted an enforcement operation targeting 4 non-compliant mining premises in Kasempa district. The operation formed part of the authority's efforts to curb tax evasion, ensure compliance with tax laws, and safeguard government revenue. Zedare Corporate Communications Manager Oliver Nzala says the mining companies raided during the exercise were identified as Katenge Resources Limited, Ken Reliable, Sanyon Investment, and Sano Octasin. Mr. Nzala says during the operation, cash amounting to over 3.7 million kwacha and 3,091 United States dollars was seized as suspected undeclared income and taxes. He added that one of the directors of Sino Octasin, Mr. Wang Ye, was arrested on site after attempting to bribe a Sedari officer with 10,000 kwacha by stashing the same into the officer's pocket in an attempt and effort to obstruct the officer from carrying out his duties. He says the suspect was handed over to the Anti-Corruption Commission (SCC) for further investigations and possible prosecution.
And about 3,091 US dollars was seized as suspected undeclared income and taxes. Further, one of the directors belonging to directors of Sino Octasin, Mr. Wang Jing, was arrested on site after attempting to stash about 10,000 kwacha into the pocket of one of our officers at ZRI in an effort to obstruct the officer from carrying out his duties. We have, however, handed over that director to the Anti-Corruption Commission, ACC, for further investigations and possible prosecution.
Ends the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
And in foreign news, Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has called for Israel to be excluded from international sports competitions over its actions in Gaza. Israel cannot continue to use any international platform to whitewash its image, he told elected representatives of his Socialist Workers' Party. He said Israel should be treated in the same way as Russia over its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. On Sunday, Israel's Foreign Minister Gideon Saar called the Spanish Prime Minister a disgrace and accused him of inciting pro-Palestinian protests in Madrid, which caused the cancellation of the final stage of the Vuelta a España cycling race in which an Israeli team was competing. And in sports news, England surpassed their own record winning streak across both men's and women's international rugby union by defeating Scotland 40-8 in their Women's Rugby World Cup quarterfinal in Bristol. In 2022, the Red Roses became the first team in history to win 25 tests in a row by beating Wales in a World Cup warm-up game at Ashton Gate, and that record was extended by 5 more victories until it ended with a defeat by New Zealand at the World Cup final later that year. Since that dramatic loss, England have not lost a test and they broke new ground with a 31st consecutive win on Sunday. That item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, a recap of the stories that made headlines. The Electoral Commission of Zambia (ECZ) has launched an online pre-registration of voters platform aimed at enhancing inclusivity, efficiency, and service delivery through digital innovation. Copperbelt Province Minister Elisha Matambo has handed over foodstuffs to more than 800 traders affected by the recent fire that swept through part of the Old Kapalala market in Lola. And finally, Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has called for Israel to be excluded from international sports competitions over its actions in Gaza. For more news, follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the Happy Hour of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. My name is Lance Sannie Banda. Enjoy the rest of the evening.